everybody, I'm Dev Tots.
I'm Dev Rawrster.
And we are back with the podcast after quite a long hiatus.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I want to say maybe October was the last one?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, it's been a while. Well, a lot has changed since then, and most of that has been internal. We haven't really been changing anything with the open beta lately.
Yeah, but we've been working pretty hard trying to get ready for a full release, and with that, it's going to come quite a few new features.
And, some of these were posted by Delta Kilo a few days ago. We talked about new forums and moving accounts over, things like that.
Yep.
But one of the things that hasn't really been talked about yet is the new progression system. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, so we are working on a progression system. And really beyond that, it's really more of a customization system because there are going to be things that you can unlock and as you progress along, but there will also be things that you have control of from the very beginning. So some of those things we'll hit on first is really just kind of how your character looks and feels to you, right? You can personalize them a whole lot more. You'll be able to select your race. Like, that'll be a thing now.
That's been asked for a while.
Yeah. And then on top of that, kind of the gear loadout that you're wearing. So if we're both riflemen, I can look slightly different than you do because just like the pouches and stuff that I've got on, or maybe I want the bigger backpack or whatever. So we'll have a few options there for you to be able to swap in and out.
Now, is that visible to other players, the gear loadout?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
And so it's actually really cool. We've been testing with it internally, and it's really nice to just be able to look around, and everybody looks a little bit different, right? And so, that sniper over there's got a boonie hat on. It's like, oh, that's cool, and it's little things that you just notice as players are running around. Everybody just has more of a unique identity.
Well, that might even be helpful for like your comp guys. Everyone can have their own unique look, and you can quickly identify teammates.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know some of them like to play with no HUD, no nameplate. That would help facilitate that a lot.
Yeah, and it's you're still. I feel like we've done a pretty good job of. Even though you look unique, I can still tell what role you are at a glance. Like if I put any of the saw gunners against any of the snipers, they're 100% different. They're pretty distinct. So, then yeah, beyond that, we have some camouflage options as well, which we'll probably go into a bit more on a different podcast.
And we'll be putting pictures of all this on Facebook soon too.
Yeah, but there's a whole kind of system to that. It's going to be a little different than most people are probably expecting, but and it's going back and forth internally a little bit too. But there will be some options there. Now,
when you say camo, you don't mean just like camo on the body. We mean like camo on the weapon as well. Two different camo sets.
Yes. Now those are two different systems. I was specifically right there talking about kind of the camo on the character.
Okay.
Because the weapon skins are very, very much a part of the progression system, so we will cover that here. And so, yeah, the progression system covers a handful of things. They're going to cover your weapon skins, like we just talked about. They're going to cover optics, and they're going to cover patches and badges that you can acquire in-game.
Now, as far as optics are concerned, I know some of our comp players voiced concerns about just maybe slight advantages with one optic over another optic.
Correct.
Do we have a plan to deal with that, or do you feel like it's even an issue?
I don't feel like it's an issue because of the steps we're going to take. That's very much in the forefront of our minds when we first worked on this system. We didn't want... We really like the fact that, players can come in, everybody's got the same guns and the same optics to choose from, right? So what we're doing is we're not going to lock you out of any types of optics, right? Okay. So if, pretty much... almost every single optic you currently have in game will be unlocked at release, with the exception of the hollow sight. I believe that's the only one that's out there right now that'll get pulled in. But so you'll have the red dot,
right, which is the favorite.
Yeah, you'll have the ACOG, so you'll have that nice kind of mid-range zoom, and then obviously the sniper rifle is going to have the Mark IV, right? So you'll have all those. They'll all be unlocked already. So what you'll be unlocking is like the SUSAT, for example, will be an optic you can unlock, and it's got the exact same magnification as an ACOG. It's just the reticle. What you see when you look through the optic.
The side pictures, I guess, just a little different, right?
Yeah.
Like with the hammer is another one.
Yeah. So it's and the sight picture. I believe they've done a good job of making sure that the field of view when you're looking through is the exact same. It's just but yeah, the actual optic when you're looking through there is just going to look a little bit different. So yeah, you might prefer one to the other, and when you unlock that, you can use that instead. So there will be a few for each, I guess, zoom class that you'll be able to unlock and use alternatives to the normal optics.
But so no tactical advantage. There's nothing to worry about there.
No.
I know there's other shooter games that have very definite steps in power as you unlock more and more weapons, and I know we do want to avoid that. So
yeah, for sure. We definitely don't want to be giving players new functionality going along, just because we want everybody to be on an even playing field from the beginning. And then, so weapon skins we've touched on a little bit, and those are essentially, those are pretty straightforward, right? I think people are pretty familiar with those. And there's going to be 4 to 6 per weapon that you'll be able to unlock, and you're going to unlock those by using that weapon. So we'll throw challenges your way, and as you complete those challenges, you'll get to unlock those skins.
What would be like an example challenge?
So an example challenge would be, with the M4, get 250 kills with the iron sights, get 10 high-speed challenge coins, which is something we'll go into a bit more later on, and then get, it'll be, they all come in sets of 3, so there'll be one more thing in that list. So maybe get 5 kills in a round with the M4.
And then you would unlock a skin after doing all 3.
Yeah, and so, and all challenges come in tiers, right? So you've got really simple stuff early on, just to kind of get you using that weapon, and so those would be the novice tier, and they're a little bit different because it's just get this many kills with this weapon, and that just kind of gets you rolling a little bit. You'll get some XP bonuses and some things like that for that. You won't get the skins there. Where you get the skins is when it's the full 3, and so we've got a veteran, expert, and elite, and each one steps its game up a little bit more. We're asking a little bit more from you with each one of those tiers. Everybody who completes the M4 veteran will get a more worn-looking skin. So for their M4, and then later on they get a little more varied and unique. For the M4 in particular, because it's such a popular weapon, we've got 6 skins for it, and so once you get to Elite, you can actually repeat Elite a few times to unlock even more.
Okay, all right. We're going to be, resetting a lot of things going into the full release of the game. You're going to have your guys with the honor reset, and I know that a lot of people really don't understand why. There are some games that carry this over through. But, the reason we really can't is everything that Rawrster's been saying here. We've got an entirely new unlock system. We're actually going to be adding in ranks instead of just honor levels. Yeah. You've got your E1, E2, E3, etc. The game is going to be different enough on launch that it's really hard to carry most of our beta things through.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. It's going to be... We want everybody to have that experience, too, of earning all these things, right? Whereas if we did carry everything over, even if we could, we'd have to do a lot of conversions on the XP and stuff like that. But even if we could, there'd be a lot of people out there that just kind of have a good bit of things unlocked so far, or at least feel like they should have that. So we kind of want everybody, even playing field, start from the ground up and kind of go forward. It should be enjoyable for everybody moving forward, though, to kind of go through a lot of these steps, even though we've potentially done some of it in the beta up to this point.
Okay.
So another thing that the challenge coins that I just kind of mentioned. So we have Hawkeye's a great example. Like everybody's familiar with Hawkeye. It's one of our challenge coins, right? So there's 10 of these, and unlike achievements, you keep collecting them as many times as you can, right? So I've got 250 Hawkeyes. Okay, that's something that it will be on my profile and I can show to people.
Oh, and currently the profiles only show it the one time. That's something that'll be changing.
Yeah, so we'll track it. As many as you can get, we'll track. And then at different stages of that, so like for every 10 Hawkeyes, every 100 Hawkeyes, every 1,000 Hawkeyes that you get, you'll get a different badge. And these will just be like the patches on the shoulder. Like one of our old character models used to have the patch on the shoulder.
Yeah.
So now you'll be able to unlock all these patches to put there yourself. So you can kind of, A, it's customization, and B, it's really allowing you to show off, hey, I've done this really cool, really hard thing.
Right.
Now let me show it to everybody. So yeah, the challenge coins will have a lot of those. And again, completing the weapon challenges, you'll get some of those as well. And they're not... Completing an M4 weapon challenge, you're not going to get a patch with an M4 on it. You're going to get something cool looking, and then somebody will say, oh, how'd you get that? Well, I got it doing the M4 challenge.
Yeah, we had our artists spent a while on making these patches.
Yeah,
they're actually really some guys from our comic books, so they have a very distinct style, and they're really interesting.
And for you guys that are actually serving the Army, your division patch should be in there as well, and that'll be unlocked as a default going forward. So with the reset of XP, you'll also... And I believe Delta Kilo touched on this in his post, that achievements are going to get Reset's the wrong word because a lot of the achievements are being changed.
And we're going to archive, those old
Yes,
achievements.
yeah.
You can go back and look at them and still show off what you did in the beta. Yeah, so many of them, the ones that aren't just being reset, are just completely different now.
Yeah,
with all of these new systems, all the achievements had to change.
Yeah, so you'll see a lot of new achievements. A handful of them will be the same or at least be similar. And there'll be a lot more of them, I believe. I was looking at the list the other day. There's quite a few.
And one of the cool things that's coming with all of these changes is the new website and profile page. Now, the website is going to be ready sooner rather than later. I think the profile page won't actually come out until launch. I have to double check on that. But that is going to let you do a lot of really interesting things. There's going to be a lot more in-depth stat tracking, really in-depth, like, matches played, rounds played. A lot of people see, like, League of Legends and stuff has these really intricate breakdowns of your performances, and that's what we're trying to add with our new stat pages. I know the web guys are also looking at making custom SIG generators based off your profile, and we're trying to integrate into the new forums a way to show off in the forums the different patches you've unlocked and things like that. We're really trying to unify all of our systems and give everyone the data that they've been asking for throughout the beta.
So you mentioned the new forums. That is probably going to be the thing that comes online the soonest, right?
I'm probably looking at about 2 weeks on that.
Okay. And it is going to be, like, I log into those forums with the same account that I log into the game.
No more forums account. It's single sign-on, which means your soldier account that you use for the game or your profile is the exact same as the one you're using for the forums, which is really nice because it lets you kind of connect with the other players more easily. You can easily find their soldier profile. You can show off your stuff better, and you don't have people hiding behind alts when they want to talk trash to you. You can see who's saying what they're saying.
The cool thing to me about the new forums is with the game itself and a lot of things we've been talking about today, fresh start there as well, right?
Yeah.
It's fresh start in the game, fresh start on the forums. Do you see any other benefits that are going to be coming along with these new forums that we're not maybe getting out of the forums we're currently using?
No. Our current forums are great. They're old, but they're great.
Sure.
But what we're doing with the new ones is we're streamlining a lot of extra stuff out. We have a lot of categories that just don't get used. We're trying to funnel discussion into places where more discussion will happen. And by making the barrier to entry to the forums so easy with single sign-on, we expect more discussion. It'll be easy to hop in your Steam browser or, after a match or whatever. So with the smaller forum categories, this is going to encourage more discussion. We're going to have more people participating in the discussion. And with the changes that are coming to the website, which we'll talk about next week, as well as the profile, all of this is just really trying to make a way for players to be able to communicate, meet each other, play together. We're trying to really bring the community tighter together. We already have a really tight community, but it's also very separate between the forums and the game, and we want to eliminate that. We need to hear everyone's voices, and everyone, deserves to really feel part of the game. And right now, there's just too much of a disconnect.
Yeah, and hopefully it'll make it a little more convenient for players who aren't on the forums currently to hop on over and get involved. Just
exactly.
You don't have to worry about making a new account.
Well, and we've even talked about maybe doing some badges and achievements in game based off what you do in the forums because it's all linked now, right?
A little crossover, that'd be cool.
Little forums warrior badge. Well, you know what? We're almost out of time already.
Yeah. Well, I think we've covered the basics of a lot of things that should be coming people's way pretty soon. I hope that y'all are excited about it. We're pretty excited about the fresh start and all the new content.
There's so many changes. We've got weeks worth of podcasts to talk about everything that's changed in the last 6 months.
It can be pretty crazy going back and playing on the public servers with people sometimes, just getting used to, not having a lot of that stuff there that we're normally used to. I know I covered a lot of different systems on the customization and progression side, very high level. Over the next few weeks, we can certainly dive into those a bit more.
Definitely.
The majority of the content's already been created as well, so we'll probably give some sneak peeks out on that too.
Mm-hmm. So you guys make sure you come back next week. We're going to make this a weekly feature again. We're sorry we were gone for so long. We've just been working too hard.
That's right.
Well, we'll see you guys next week.
All right, guys. Have a good one.